If a third world war breaks out, it will never be the way you imagine. According to many, the conflict between Israel and Iran will be the spark that ignites it. Time will tell, of course. But in this video, I'll talk about how such a war could begin, how nations are already preparing with new technologies, and how it might eventually end. I'm sure you'll be surprised when you hear what I have to say. To understand the future, we must first follow the clues of the past. First World War, Second World War, and then our present day. It has been exactly 80 years since the last Great War. But have you ever wondered why countries would risk everything to go to war? There are many reasons why world wars break out, but the most important one is that great powers want to redivide the world. In other words, greed. We're talking about a world war, yes, but these wars never began globally. They always started regionally. For example, World War I began with an assassination, a small crisis in the Balkans. But then Austria declared war on Serbia, Russia supported Serbia, Germany declared war on Russia, and before long, France, Britain, the Ottoman Empire, and Japan were all drawn into it. The same thing happened in World War II. Germany's invasion of Poland seemed like a regional conflict at first, but then Britain, France, Germany, followed by Russia, Japan, and finally the United States, turned it into a full-scale world war. It wasn't just about land, it was about raw materials, energy routes, and strategic regions. Those who wanted to control the world sacrificed millions in the process. 20 million people died in World War I. In World War II, that number reached nearly 70 million. What ended the Second World War was a new technology, the atomic bomb. The United States used this terrifying weapon to strike fear into every nation and to prove itself as a superpower. The weapon that ended the last World War may, in the future, be the very one that starts the next. But this time, things are different, because the atomic bomb no longer belongs only to the United States. Many countries now possess that power. So, when the next World War begins, the new superpower will be the one that possesses the technology capable of ending it, just as the US once did. But this time, it won't be the atomic bomb. The deciding factor in the wars of the future will be technological dominance in space. World War III will not be what you think. Today, most satellites communicate with each other, sending signals and serving multiple purposes. They guide ships and aircraft, contribute to science, provide communication and internet, and help us study the Earth's geography, seismic activity, and weather. But beyond these peaceful uses, they also reveal secret military bases. In fact, the main reason satellites were launched into space has always been the same: warfare. In the early years of the Cold War, the space race between nations seemed scientific on the surface, but its real purpose was surveillance. When the US won the space race and the Soviet Union collapsed, such projects were shelved, partly because there was no longer a perceived threat, and partly because they were extremely expensive. But now costs have dropped, and the work has already resumed. In 2019, the United States established a new military branch called the U.S. Space Force, officially declaring space a battlefield. 5 years earlier, in 2020, there were about 3,000 satellites orbiting Earth. Today, the number is astonishingly higher. Nothing is truly secret anymore. Everything can be seen from space. Russia secretly sending troops to Ukraine, the US building a military base on a tiny island, even the supposedly closed-off North Korea. According to a Reuters report, Elon Musk's SpaceX signed a secret agreement with the US government to create a network of hundreds of spy satellites. You've probably seen Boris Ozkan's videos, where he joyfully celebrates every rocket launch, believing it's all for science and humanity. But behind the scenes, unfortunately, there are plans far beyond scientific research. A satellite orbiting Earth at 7.5 kilometers per second, about 400 kilometers above the planet, can drop a single metal rod. No explosives needed. This is called the Rod of God, a theoretical kinetic weapon system. As the rod falls toward Earth, it accelerates to 8 times the speed of sound, striking with devastating force, capable of penetrating deep underground bunkers. It's called God's rod because the strike feels like an invisible divine blow from the heavens, almost impossible to see and impossible to stop. Another weapon system involves swarms of drones stored in orbital capsules. Hundreds, maybe thousands of drones could be released at once to strike any target. There are also anti-satellite missiles, weapons designed not to hit targets on Earth, but to destroy enemy satellites. And then there are systems that cause no explosion,